Now, before this video gets underway, we'll say it's very snowy and cold here in Vancouver, BC, so there are a lot of things moving around my apartment, and if you hear any noises from machines or buckets getting tossed around there, then hey, I cannot control that, that's my bad. But we do have ourselves an Ottawa Senators and Montreal Canadiens game that is going to take place later today at 4 p.m. PST. This will be a very interesting one to pay attention to, because when it comes to this Ottawa Senators squad, man, things have gotten so much worse. And it started out yesterday, honestly, with a tweet. This is what we had seen from Martian Lalime, who isn't like, you know, confirmed, whatever, like, insider. It's just a Twitter user that is in the Ottawa area, 13,000 followers. They do a lot of stuff. They're fairly popular. And they said this yesterday. Per The Streets, which is a very great source, you know, The Streets, right? It seems like the hometown novelty has mostly worn off for Jakob Chychrun and his camp in Ottawa. We're hearing interest in being a Sen long-term has diminished greatly, so he does not want to be a Sen anymore for the long-term future. It's very unlikely that he extends. It's far more likely that he's dealt before becoming an unrestricted free agent. And this, as I said, was from yesterday. It got a lot of tweets, a lot of people going out there and responding. The first reply from Martian themselves, this one would actually suck so bad. I love Chychrun's skill set. Now, of course, this isn't really like the biggest deal in the world when it's coming from The Streets, right? I mean, it got traction. Martian Lalimes is a very popular Twitter user, but this was a thing where people were like, okay, that's an idea. That's tossed out there. Come on, though. Jakob Chychrun not wanting to stay in Ottawa, that would be a pretty big disaster, wouldn't it be? And then we got confirmation from Bruce Garriock later in the afternoon. Keep an eye on Jakob Chychrun as the Sens GM Steve Staios studies trade options. By the way, I'm sorry, you can hear the machinery outside. Thank goodness to all y'all out here with snowplows. I appreciate the work. It makes our lives a lot easier. Steve Staios was in the stands briefly Wednesday as the Ottawa Senators skated at the Canadian Tire Centre. Sitting last in the East after losing to the Colorado Avalanche at home on Tuesday, the Sens aren't in any rush to make decisions, but Staios is busy trying to gauge the market for the club's players while also trying to find help for his troubled roster. He's not really in any hurry to do anything, and he doesn't have to be. A league executive told Post Media, I just think they're trying to get a feel for what they can get for certain players, plus help the group as well. Take a look at this. We're told by league executives that the Sens are one of the NHL's most active teams on the trade front. They'd like to keep the core of Tkachuk, Stützle, Sanderson, Norris, Batherson, and Chabot, but that hasn't stopped other teams from calling. The expectation is that the club will ask Vladimir Tarasenko to waive his no-move clause before the deadline. There's no reason to believe he'll say no, because he tried that route with the Rangers last spring and likely will take a shot at winning another Stanley Cup. The Sens have also tried unsuccessfully to move Kubalik, who was acquired in the trade for DeBrincat. And then, the one to keep an eye on is Jakob Chychrun. Acquired from the Arizona Coyotes at last year's deadline, league sources told Post Media this week that Staios has been listening to expressions of interest from other teams for the 25-year-old Chychrun. Lots of teams are looking for help on defense, including the Oilers. Oy, 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 that's a lot, eh? That is a lot. We had ourselves TSN go out there and respond to this idea. They made themselves a piece earlier in the week as well. The Sens are expected to ask Tarasenko to waive his no-trade clause, and they're listening on Jakob Chychrun. Take a look at this. The expectation is that the Sens will ask pending UFA to waive, and they've also tried to move Kubalik. Tarasenko was listed at number 6 on the latest TSN trade bait board, with Kubalik being the only other Senator checking in at number 16th. According to Garriock, Staios has been listening to interest on Jakob Chychrun. This is wild, dude. Just 1 year after getting this player who was all the rage, you know, he was the bee's knees, he was the big prized trade acquisition by the Ottawa Senators just 1 year ago. 26 points, 39 games played, 55-point projection pace for 82 games on the season. This is a good player, and he's expiring as a UFA. He wanted to come to Ottawa. He wanted to be here. He's from the area, and now he's going to want out. interest in him sticking around long term is apparently not there anymore, and now the Sens are shopping him too. This is nuts, dude. Even with, like, the other piece here, we had talked about Vladimir Tarasenko in different conversations, saying that there was a pretty big likelihood that he would be on the market once again, because this entire thing happened last year. It worked out pretty well. I mean, they lost in the first round, the Rangers did, but still, the plan was executed. And in Ottawa, Tarasenko was like, yeah, like, he's signed a one-year deal. It's not really like he's coming over here to help the rebuild or whatever. He's putting his name on the map. So we'll see whether or not there is any trade action on Tarasenko, but it's not really like the biggest surprise in the world if he does get moved. But now, it's not even just Vlad. It's also Dominik Kubalik who is in here too. Kubalik, who is down here with 12 points in 39 games played, who is supposed to be the main piece in exchange for Alex DeBrincat, who is tearing it up in Detroit, by the way. But Kubalik, 12 points, 39 games, on pace for about 25 points. A pretty big decline from what he had last year with the Red Wings. He was a 20-goal guy with the Wings. And then, of course, he was a 30-goal guy in 68 games as a rookie with the Chicago Blackhawks. Things have just gotten so much worse for this Ottawa Senators team that now a lot of the pieces that were supposed to be big, important, and whatever, they're now in the market. And to help us out with this conversation, let's go over onto the R Hockey sub, because this post of the TSN article was made on there, and there are some very funny comments that go out there and describe what's going on. The Sens are a great case study in the perils of trading futures before your window has opened. Pierre Dorian is definitely never getting another NHL GM job. Really? I remember that he had that one offseason where he was the best GM that ever lived on the planet. Yeah, that was the summer of Pierre, if you remember, when he acquired, I believe it was like Cam Talbot. He made the acquisition for, what was it? He traded away Matt Murray for Talbot, I'm pretty sure. If you just do the trade tree, that's kind of how it went down. They acquired Claude Giroux, they did these moves, they were good, like they were looking good on paper. And now, I mean, just a year and a bit later, 2 years later, things are not really looking all too great anymore. It was the first time in a long time Sens fans had hope. The devil was dead. The team was spending and adding pieces. Oh my goodness, they literally called him a devil. Oh wow, I am not gonna... Okay, that just caught me completely off guard. Blind to the fact that Dorian was mortgaging the future to try and have a good season to look good for new ownership. Then it blew up in his face, and he may have given up consecutive top 12 picks to guys who want out within a year. That is a dagger. Goodbye Tarasenko, goodbye Chychrun, Stone, Carlsson, Hoffman, Zibanejad, bye to whoever else I am forgetting. Now, of course, this is all just taking a look at the long-term implications. People are freaking out because people are freaking out, but it kind of goes to show you just the track record of this organization. Like, I don't know, how do you go out there and mess up this badly? On paper, everybody thought the Sens roster would be better, but the goaltending has stunk, and a lot of this team just isn't meshing in the ways that you probably thought they should have. Like, I was a believer in the Sens. We said this yesterday in one of the videos, but I thought that the Ottawa Senators would be able to be competitive this year. But now they're, what, last in the entire Atlantic Division? Let's go over to the NHL standings real quick and check out what's going on there. Because... taking a look at it, yeah, I mean, 30 points, 39 games played, and they are literally last in the East by quite a significant margin. They're not last in the league, though. Chicago and San Jose got them beat. But Ottawa, man, it's been bad, and now you're in a spot where Jakob Chychrun apparently doesn't want to come back. And Tarasenko, also on the market, too. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the disaster that is the Ottawa Senators 2023-2024 season, and how all these guys are expected to be getting traded soon. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.